In this tutorial, I'll show you step by step how to make a nutcracker jumping jack Christmas decoration. For this project, you'll need your nutcracker jumping jack template, some scissors or a craft knife and a cutting mat, a single hole punch, an embroidery needle with a wide-eyed hole and 2 lengths of embroidery thread, ideally in separate colours, one being 45 centimetres long, one being 30 centimetres long, 8 split pins, pens, pencils and pencil crayons you might need for embellishing the facial features, and a range of festive papers to collage with, or alternatively stamps that could create a similar effect. Decorations for the eyes could also include googly eyes, or you could draw them on or collage them on. Taking your card template, cut out the body, the arms and the legs. No need to cut out the face at this stage. I prefer to cut with scissors, but you can use a craft knife, and leave the holes in the centre of each body part. That's for hole punching guides later. So once all our body parts are cut out, we need to decorate them with either stamps or collage. To stamp, we need to turn our body part over so that we are collaging or stamping onto the plain side, and apply equal pressure onto your stamp, press down firmly. To collage the body parts, turn them over, roughly draw round them and cut them out, glue the body part, put the collage paper on the top on the section that you think looks appealing, and then turn it over and trim with scissors or craft knife. So I've collaged my arms and I'm now moving on to my body. I've put a lot of the main elements down, but now I want to add some of the details. So I'm going to put on the shoulder pads or the lapels to the nutcracker's suit, and a band across the top of his helmet, and some of the facial features. So what I do is roughly cut these sizes out, lay them on with applying glue to the back of the individual pieces of collage, sticking them on, and then trimming off the excess with either scissors or a craft knife. So now the body's done, we're moving on to the details of the face. I've provided a template that you can trace if you'd like to, and to do that you just take a piece of tracing paper and a pencil, the softer the better, lay it over the design, trace all the elements that you want, and because this is a fully symmetrical design, just turn it over, position it on your face and apply pressure, and the carbon from the pencil will transfer onto your design. I, however, for this design have been inspired by the pattern paper and the leaves I'm going to use to make a bit of a contemporary moustache. I'm also going to use googly eyes, and instead of putting on the traditional nutcracker mouth, I'm going to put on just a very simple smile in red crayon. The next step is to punch all the holes. First I'm going to do it with the hole punch. I've already done the body, so now I'm going to pick up each body component, line up the hole punch with the circle that I've drawn, and I'm going to do this for every hole that's drawn. Then I'm going to puncture the 2 small holes with the embroidery needle. To do this I use a rubber or putty rubber, and I just apply some force. If you're finding your fingers are slipping on the needle, you can just use something like a ruler to put on the top to get a bit more pressure. You basically want to fully puncture the hole and pass the needle all the way through for both of the small holes on the arms and the legs. So now we need to attach the 2 parts of the arm together. So using a paper fastener for each arm, pop the paper fastener through both of the holes and open it so that it's flat on the back, not too loose, not too tight, but so you get plenty of movement in the arm. Repeat this process for the other arm, and then when you've done that, turn the body and the arms over and position the arms on top of the body with the holes lining up. What we're going to do now is tie the arms together. So take your 30 centimetre thread and cut it in half, so you have 2 15 centimetre threads. I've used different colours from the main pull cord just so it's easier to identify when you're tying them, but it's not really essential. So thread your embroidery needle, and you have to do that by eye or with a threader. So now we'll tie the arms together. Position the arms in the downward position so that the armholes line up with the body holes, and then thread your needle through the 2 small holes that you made and tie a knot at the back. You want to make sure there's plenty of give in the thread. When you're happy with the position, tie a double knot, but don't trim the edges right now. We'll do that right at the end when we've checked that we don't need to adjust anything. Insert and unfold the paper fasteners through the front, so you're fixing the arms to the body, and then pulling on both of the sides of the thread, pull down and just make sure that your arms jump about with flexibility. So I've collaged the legs and the boots and punched the holes in them. Now we're going to connect the legs and the boots with paper fasteners. Make sure that the small holes are at the top of the legs and that the boots go on over the top of the trousers, so it looks like the trousers are tucked in. Using your final piece of 15cm thread, tie the leg pieces together. As before with the arms, make sure there's plenty of give and tie a loose double knot when you're happy with the position. Turn your nutcracker over and check everything's in the right position, your feet and your arms and everything are pointing the right way. We'll now connect the arms and the legs with our 45cm piece of thread. So first tie a double knot around both the loops that connect the arms together, then tie a double knot on both of the loops that connect the legs. Make sure the thread between the 2 knots is fairly loose. Once you're happy with this, test your mechanism by pulling down on the longer thread, and both arms and legs should move upwards in a free motion. You may need to adjust the thread tension if the sections don't move smoothly. So trim off any excess thread so it can't be seen from the front, and then if you can see any of the paper fasteners sticking out when you turn it over, then you can fold these back in on themselves, or alternatively you can get a pair of pliers, snip off the edges, but be aware that these could leave sharp edges behind. If you take a spare thread from the bottom of your long pull cord, you have the option of making that into a loop that you can sellotape onto the back of the helmet or the head, and that makes a hanging loop for a decoration. And that's it. That's your finished design. Have fun personalising your own jumping jacks, and happy crafting!